No, what we're trying to do is grab pack leaders in all different industries, whether it's business, music, movies, TV, whatever it is, and getting into their minds and understanding how are they able to get to the position that they're in today.
Today's guest is a 5-time East Coast DJ of the Year and 2-time National DJ of the Year. He is the co-host of Hot 97's top programming block from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is the #1 show in the U.S. radio market in that time frame. He is known as the International Club King, where tours around the world have taken him to London, Paris, Dubai, Tropez, Spain, Cannes, Italy, Sweden, and many more. In late 2014, he cemented his status as one of the country's most in-demand DJs by signing to Roc Nation. In addition to his domination of the airwaves and clubs around the world, he has expanded his entrepreneurial horizons to the hospitality industry by opening a Latin fusion restaurant named Blend that now has 3 locations in Queens, New York. He continued his status as a rising hospitality entrepreneur by opening an edgy pizza shop in Long Island City, New York called Slice in 2015. Whether it's a trendy NYC club, 60,000 fans at Hot 97 Summer Jam, or an exclusive celebrity party in Cannes, there's nothing this heavy hitter can't handle. Please welcome to the Pack Leader Experience, DJ Camilo. What's up, Camilo, my man? How's everything going, bro?
Oh, all is great, man. I'm here. I'm looking at you, and I feel like I'm underdressed for the party.
Never, bro. By the way, let's do a quick cheers. This is the new thing on the Pack Leader Experience. I got to explain the drink, too, but a cheers to you, bro. So look at this guy. Okay. He's got the fucking bottles and shit.
I got a bottle. I got to just kill this bottle right here.
That's right.
You know?
Hell yeah, dude.
Here we go. Cheers.
Salud, bro.
Cheers.
So I'll tell you why I have this drink, right? I was like, all right, if I'm going to have the International Club King on the fucking thing here, I was like, I got to go back to my club days a little bit and get the pregame drink going, which was the Red Bull vodka, dude.
Wow, Red Bull vodka, yeah.
In the pint glass.
There you go.
In the pint glass. So
it's funny. I'm having this drink because this is called Branson, right?
Yep.
And 50 Cent called me up.
Yep.
And he said, this is his liquor.
Yeah.
He said, I want you to be an ambassador for it. So I said, okay.
Hell yeah.
We're in the nightclub, and I'm an ambassador for Branson. And
what kind of liquor is it? What is it?
It's cognac.
Oh, nice.
The brown stuff, baby.
Good shit. Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah. That's awesome. So obviously we were talking a little bit before the show, but I want to just remind everybody what we're doing with the show, which is the Pack Leader Experience. We're bringing pack leaders on from all different industries. We had Caesar, who was like the pack leader with the dogs. We had Hunter last week, and now we got DJ Camilo. He's on Hot 97. And what's your slot's 4 to 7, right?
4 to 6 I'm on, and what I do is I mix there every day.
Yep.
Straight mixing. Me and my co-host Nessa, it's her show, and I'm the DJ for the show. So
gotcha.
For me it's a big deal because it's prime time in New York City. So 4 to 6 is when everybody's in their car, traffic, on their way back home,
prime
or going
time,
to work.
baby.
You know how the city moves.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. And what everyone's going to be fascinated to know about is how does Camilo start as a young Colombian kid in Queens and then get to be the #1 honestly, I consider you, I don't know if there's like ratings for that, but I see you as the #1 DJ in New York and probably in the country.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, right? As far as the pack leaders concerned, that's what it is,
I'll take it.
So you grew up in Queens though? You were born in Queens?
I was born in Queens. I was born in Flushing, Queens. Grew up in Queens, high school in Queens, did a little college in Queens. As a matter of fact, the first nightclub I played was in Queens, a little spot called Casablanca, which is like a little hole in the wall. But that was how I started in the late 90s, man. And as a DJ, all I wanted to really do was do nightclubs, back in the late 90s. And I couldn't get into nightclubs because, they hire people that are popping in the street.
That's right.
Has a following. And my only way to get my name up was back then was doing mixtapes. I was doing mixtapes to feed the streets and feed the club promoters.
Yeah.
And that's the way I promoted myself. It was straight up, what do you call it? Guerrilla promo.
Yeah.
I used
Hustle
to go to
mode,
mom and
bro.
pop stores. Exactly. Yeah. Mom and pop stores, drop off tapes and sell them.
Yeah.
Sell mixtapes. And my name in Queens started bubbling, and then club promoters started hiring me up. But the crazy thing is that those mixtapes were so popular in New York, they would make it overseas.
Yeah.
And one day I get a call from a promoter in Germany This is 1998. He calls me up and he says, "Yo, I want to book you." And I was just like, "Whoa!" You know, I didn't even know how much to charge the guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What are they charging francs over there? Whatever whatever their money is over there.
Exactly. Yeah. And my first gig out there was in 1999, in Heidelberg, Germany.
That's so sick.
It was crazy.
And this is the thing that I always say is like what people see is like, I call it like the iceberg effect. So like most people are going to look at you, right? And be like, damn, look at that guy. He's DJing Hot 97. He's got millions of people listening to him and all that shit. How lucky is he, right? They'll say. But what they don't know about is what's below that iceberg, which is the years and the hustle and the hard ass work that it takes to get to that place.
Exactly. And mind you, it takes like radio for me was a dream, but it was one of those things that, you know, I'm never going to be on that, man. That's like so hard. You know what I'm saying?
It's like somewhere else.
Right. And then, you know, I'll be very honest, like radio back then was the thing.
It was huge.
You know, in 2021, the game has changed.
Yeah.
But, you know, where do you go to do anything? Get new music, listen to news or anything. It was just radio. You know, so, you know, I got that started in 2002 after busting my ass, working hard and getting my name out there. I got one little show at midnight on Saturdays, once a month at midnight, 12 a.m. to 4. And I took it. And I had the best time, and I played my heart out.
Yeah.
You know, fast forward 2021, here I am, prime time, man, 4 o'clock in the #1 market, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. And it's like what we were saying, too, like when you're doing that 12 to 4, like we were talking about this show, right? I was before the show, I was saying to Camilo, like, we're just getting it started, like we're getting the viewership, getting it going and stuff. And he said right away, what did you say? He goes, well, you got to just keep this going, and people are going to come. Because, like, when you were doing that 12 to 4, you're not being like, fuck this ain't gonna be good, no one's gonna live. It's like, no, I'm giving that thing my all. Yeah,
right. Like, who's listening at that time, you know? But yeah, you got to keep your foot on the pedal, man.
Yep.
And you got to keep going. And as far as this show's concerned, like, you know, I caught the last 2 shows you did. You just got to keep going and rolling and rolling and rolling. Don't look back.
That's it.
Go.
Keep it going.
That's it.
And that's literally what I'm doing with my clients, by the way. That's what I do with the clients. Like, what I was like, yeah, all this past shit that we're talking about with the dog, he used to do this and that, all this stuff. I'm like, but this dog lives in this moment. So just to focus on what's happening right now and what's going to happen from this point forward. Because there's nothing we can do about the past at this point, right? It's like, what's the point?
And when I first met you, it was in Hoboken.
Yep.
You know,
I remember.
You know, and fast forward, look at you, you're at a ranch, man.
I know.
I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is some, you know, this is called leveling up.
Hell yeah. And then when I met you in Hoboken, I understood, right? Because, like, look, I don't try to toot my horn and say that I can read people and feel energy as good as like Caesar and shit. But I've been for the last 12 years having to read people and understand and feel them and what are they going through and shit. When I met you right away, I could feel your vibration was at such a high vibration. So people like that, like I now that I've had the luxury of being around, like, you know, influencers, celebrities, all this high net worth people and all that. Successful people, I understand now this vibration thing. And I could see, like, right when I met you, it felt like, right, I was like, I said right after that thing, I said, I know exactly why this guy's on DJ. I'm sure he's a good DJ and shit. And I hadn't heard you that much yet. But I was like, this guy's energy is fucking on point, dude. So that's like a huge part of it. Obviously in the club scene, that's a big part of it though, right? Is your energy there?
100%, man. You could be tired, but when you walk into a room, man, and you look at the crowd, listen, there's people there ready to celebrate their birthdays, ready to anniversaries, ready to celebrate divorces, girls coming with their girl. Oh, my girl just broke up. I'm bringing her out, you know, to have a great time.
Newly single and shit, newly bachelor.
You gotta take them on a roller coaster ride no matter what.
Hell yeah.
You know, so yeah, you gotta have that one-on-one with people. You gotta read the vibe. You gotta read a room. It's so important when you rock in a crowd looking. Is there more men than women? Is there more women than men? Am I going to be playing more aggressive tonight?
Right.
You know, with the ladies, you're not as aggressive.
Right.
So, you know, you have to really read a room when you walk into any nightclub.
So you're doing similar to what I do is like you're doing assessing and evaluating. Like you're doing it up front. You're like, all right, so I'm playing at this place. This is what my game plan is going into it, probably, right? I'm assuming. And then you get there, you start playing, and it's like, all right, I got to see like what is going on here. Like, oh fuck, there's a lot of dudes here today. I got to like play more of the hard shit, or you know, like, I'm assuming that's what it is, right? Yeah.
No, it's 100%. That's what it is. You gotta walking there. And then, there's a lot of times you get challenges, man. Sometimes, it'll be so packed that a fire alarm will go off. And a lot of times, a lot of clubs, when the fire alarm goes off, all these lights start popping up. Sometimes the music automatically goes down.
Yeah.
Not all clubs. So when they're over with that and they figure that out, it's like a reset button.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to start this room all over again.
That's
You know what I'm saying? And that becomes a challenge because you have the crowd here. That shit goes off. Then the crowd's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And,
Like, this is like
anybody drinking.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it. They're like, oh. So you have to reset the room and you have to be ready for all that type of stuff. That's
so
just
true.
the scenario.
That's like a thing. Like I did like a business workshop recently. They were talking about like deal making, like doing deals in business and shit. Obviously you're involved in a bunch of businesses, but doing deals in business, you start the deal flow. Like you're starting to move towards closing the deal and all that. And then if something happens where you like have to take a pause, it can really kill the whole deal, like and be over with. Same thing with a consultation when I do it. It's like we're doing well, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, some shit just happened. Let's try to get all back on track. It's not easy to do. It's momentum. That's what you're talking about. It's momentum, right?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. It's like even when you're closing on a house, sometimes
Yeah.
you have to sell this house to buy this house.
Yeah.
So you lock down the deal
Yep.
with this new house, but guess what? You're running late on this.
Yeah, we got to
You know
get
what I'm
that thing
saying?
out of
And-
here. Yeah, sold. All
Right. And I need this money to buy this.
Yeah.
And this won't come through.
Mhm.
So this deal, it's tricky, man. It's true. You got to
So
be ready.
So let me ask you, like when you were growing up, did you have doubts about this? Like obviously you said that you were like, I don't think radio is like, that's other people. That's how I always felt too. Like when I watch Caesar on
Right.
TV and shit, I'm like, that's that fucking Hollywood thing. Like whatever, that's them. I'm like these people. Like I grew up in New York too. So it's like the same thing. So were there any, like, where did it start becoming where you actually felt like, all right, I actually have something here. This is going somewhere. And now I'm actually starting to believe.
So I want to say, obviously I started at a very young age in high school. And
Like how old were you?
that was when I started DJing, I was 12 years old.
Wow.
But that was a hobby.
Yeah.
I started on my block. My boys outside used to be the DJ. I was like, ooh, I want to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, I worked the summer to get turntables. I grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment, so I didn't have a lot of room, and I busted. Because back then I had to buy vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay. Expensive, bro.
Yeah.
And in hip hop, you have to buy 2 pieces of vinyl of the same song.
Right.
So it was very expensive, and whatever. I loved it. I did it. But when I got to when I graduated from high school is when it really hit me. Like, what are you gonna do with your life? You know what I'm saying? So I was doing gigs back then, small little gigs. But then I said, okay, let me take audio recording. It goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. But my parents, being first generation here, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
They're like, what?
Right.
You want to DJ and play that rap stuff?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't, so their support was, I don't want to say they're not supportive,
I
because
mean,
they dealt with
didn't
me.
understand it as much.
Right. They didn't get it.
Right.
They didn't get, and going to Colombia, where I'm from, and seeing where they come from, I get why they don't understand
Correct.
it. I
Right.
get it.
Right.
So I was like, listen, chill out. I'm not hanging out on the street. I'm not being a bum.
I'm not dealing.
Just bear with me.
Yeah.
Right. So I think when I hit college, I did 2 years. I was actually better at accounting, because I had to take accounting than actual audio recording. So I was really good at accounting. I don't know
DJ
why.
Camilo accounting firm. Maybe that's.
I don't get it, but it worked out. So, but then at that point, I started gigging more and more and more, and things started moving along. And I just said to myself, I'm just gonna go with this full time. I even left college. I said, I'm going this full time. I told my mom. I started paying bills now. I bought my first little car, this and that.
Yeah.
And my mom's looking at me like, all right, he really loves this. Like,
Yeah.
He's making some sort of money. And I just went at it, man. I just full steam, mixtapes, this, that, started traveling.
Hell yeah. Full commitment.
Full commitment.
Yeah.
Full commitment. And once I started DJing 5 nights a week is when I said to myself, yo, this is happening. When I got that first little radio call, I said, oh, this is really happening.
Shit's real.
Now, yes, shit's real. And, I don't know, no DJ knows the expiration date.
Right.
you got to understand it's a young man's game too.
Yeah.
So, but then I look at the guys that I looked up to, like the old school DJs, like Red Alert, who's at this point right now, he's like 68, 70 years old. He's still on radio, man.
Wow.
So there is no expiration date.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's as far as you want to take it, but you got to hustle.
That's it.
So right. So I just went, and that I think to answer your question, colleges were really at that first year of college where I really said to myself, this is what I'm doing.
Like, were you doing some like small gigs in college and stuff at the college?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. For free.
Yeah.
Anything just to get on. You know what I'm saying? I used to offer myself to promoters for free too. Like, yo, whatever. I got to open up. I'll open up. I'll close up.
I love that. I love that shit. That's what I did with Caesar. When I went there, I took the workshop and I said, dude, I'll come back and volunteer for free. Because I just want to be around this thing. I just want to learn more and show you the skills. And people don't understand the value of working for free, by the way.
Well, that's the thing. That when you just said it, learn. It's like an internship, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're learning there, but those people around, if you're around the right people, they appreciate you being around because number one, you're helping them.
Yep.
Number two, you're taking loads of work off of them.
Yep.
And they see your commitment, so they respect you.
Yeah.
For me, I was around all of that, and like DJs. The reason I got on the radio is because of DJ Enough. He used to be Biggie's DJ back in the day.
Yep.
Big, and it was him. He used to see my hustle, so I used to be all around, and it was him that said, "Yo, I need you this day on the radio. You think you can fill in for me?" I was like, what?
Did you just say that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, I'll be there in a minute, bro.
I was nervous
as
shit, but went up there. Yo, I literally, no lie, Steve, when I tell you my hand was trembling when I put the needle on the record, I'm not lying to you, man. I was shook.
Yeah.
But once again, that's a learning experience, man. And sometimes you can't pay for that.
No, and I call it like the forced repetition of courage, right? It's like you're feeling all the fucking fear. It's like, God, this is like I'm shaking and all this, but you just say, I feel all that shit, but I'm just gonna move forward and just see what happens. Like, I'm gonna disregard all this fear and all these things that I'm feeling and go forward because my dream is bigger than the fear that I'm feeling in this moment.
Right, and you learn from all experiences. I'm sure when you were with Caesar, you saw all types of
my God
situations, right?
I put
situations with dogs and
you're putting yourself around somebody who that's where you want to be. You want to have that skill level. You're on DJ Enough. It's like that's what you visualize. You can see it now. It becomes more real when you're around these people too. Don't you think so?
100%.
Oh fuck, we're on the same planet now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I'll never forget the first time I met you. And you took us on a little stroll by the water, right?
Yeah. And
you were doing your thing, explaining stuff, to us, and there was a lot of information for me.
Yeah.
But at one point, you're leading us.
Yeah.
We're following you, right? And was it a geese? I think there was a geese.
Oh yeah, the Canadian geese.
Yeah. And then you said to us, just watch this, right? Usually. The geese will kind of just
the posture
step up to you,
and they're hissing,
right? But you
and all this,
right? You stepped up to him. You put your chest out. I'll never forget this.
Yeah,
you put your chest out, and the geese was like backing up, like what's going on? Like he and then
walked away.
You took charge.
Yeah,
yo, my mouth dropped. I was like.
I remember that so clearly because we were talking about energy and space and shit, and like putting pressure on and Gucci and everything. And I was like, oh, let me just show you this because the geese were hissing at us because they had the babies and all that shit there because they get really defensive and everything. So and they were like tormenting the people on the boardwalk on the walkway there. Yep. Like everyone's like, oh shit, like moving out of the way. And I'm like, no, watch this. And I'm like, we just face them. And I just put the pressure because they threw it's like throwing their punch. They're like, I'm going to throw this big warning at you. It's like, that didn't work. And the geese is like, fuck. All right. What should I do now? It didn't work. And they just kind of walk away. And as they walk away, then we walk away. And the situation's over.
Right.
Yeah. That was so sick.
Yeah. Yo, to me, I was
I sold you in that moment. I
turned around to wife. I said, this guy knows what he's doing.
And by the way, I should say too how we ended up meeting too was with your wife T. She was a follower of our page with Gucci, your dog.
Yep.
And I don't know if this is true, you tell me, but she told me that she said to you, for Christmas, I want to go do pack leader. I want to do something with pack leader, do like the sessions and boarding train and all that. Yeah.
And that's what she showed me on I think it was on the Instagram.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I never owned a pet.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
She grew up and here she goes. Uh-oh.
There she is.
There she is.
What's up, T?
Hold on, let me move that bottle.
That's right. She heard her name. Okay, let me ask you one question. When you're DJing, right, and you play the heavy hitter sucker, is that her saying it?
That's her saying.
I fucking knew it, dude. I said to Cassie's going to me. She's like, that's not T saying that. I'm like, I'm telling you, that's Hortensia saying that shit, saying heavy hitter sucker.
That's T. And when we were dating, right, my mixtape game days, back to that. When we were dating, she was at home one day. I was playing with my brand new keyboard sampler with the echo, and I said, "Yo, say this, say that, say this." And she didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And at first, she was just like giggling and whatever. But I recorded it, right?
Yeah.
Recorded it. I took it to the station one day, and I played it. So just so you understand what Heavy Hitters is, it's a crew of DJs.
Yes.
It's a family of DJs, right? It's a group all around the country. So I played it on the air while I was DJing, and Enough turns around. DJ Enough is the president of the Heavy Hitters.
Yep.
Turns and goes, "Yo, I need that. I need that shit. That's hard." So it was born right there.
It was spot on. Yeah, you heard it and it happened. Yeah.
The crazy part is that all the heavy hitters, there's a lot of heavy hitters on the radio around the country.
Yeah.
So let's say one time we was out in Florida on vacation, we was in the car, and then boom, here you go, heavy hitter suckers. And she's like, "Oh my God,
I'm on the radio
too." Yeah.
That's right. So
she's
sick.
like, "I don't even get paid for this."
Yeah. That's right. You're collecting all the money, right? So how did you guys meet up, by the way?
Ooh, high school.
High school?
High school.
And what age is like senior?
But senior year, and it was a friend of a friend. Yeah, we were friends before. It was a friend, and it was her friends, and we hanged out, that type of stuff. And,
yeah.
And then
who made the first move? Yeah, that's my man.
A lot of phone calls.
Yeah, you were playing Hard to Get?
No.
No.
I just didn't click.
Yeah, you still acting.
Yeah, you know what? We were definitely hanging out before it was a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then
you guys were
just
vibing
that
back
thing.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing became like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Yeah. So, and how this is like so putting you on the spot, but how has T been on supporting you on this mission with the DJing and all that stuff? How's it been?
Well, I mean, hands down, I got to give it to her. She was there from the get.
Yeah.
And I was broke, no car, picking her up on a train,
Hell yeah.
going out on a date on a train.
Wrapping up the mixtape.
Yo,
Yeah.
she was wrapping up the mixtapes, helping me. She came many times for me to deliver mixtapes all around the city. I would leave in a car, double park, to say, "I'm going to jump out, drop off these 30 mixtapes at this mom and pop shop. Stay right here. I'll be back."
Hell yeah.
Boom. And so she's seen the growth from day one.
Yeah.
So, moving forward in 2021, man, she understands. She saw the hard work. She understands the hustle. She knows it's to be a DJ and to stay relevant, which is probably the most hardest part right now. It's to stay relevant, man, to stay hot always.
Right.
That's not easy, man.
I know.
This, especially in this city moves, bro.
Right. Fast.
And fast. And now more than ever before, there's more DJs out there than ever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it about the volume of DJs that is out there now, and also the ability to access the internet? Look at that.
This changed the game.
The internet. Yep. The computer.
Okay. When I was DJing, you see behind me, that's all vinyl.
Yep.
That was it. But much harder now.
Literally scratching records, right?
Yeah. Now anybody can buy a laptop, get a music library, and start DJing.
I press the button and it's mixing and all that.
Get the right software. Yeah. So it's much easier now.
Yeah.
So to stay relevant, man, you got to work harder.
Yeah. So the entry is easier for people getting into this thing now. And it's much easier to get noticed too. Cause like, that's it. Look, I always tell people like the dog trainers out there, I'm like, start posting your shit and start posting the stuff because you don't never know who's going to notice that thing out of nowhere. You know, like,
Right.
That's what you were doing. You were doing it just pre-internet. Like, I guess the internet was coming out around that time, right? When you were just starting up and everything.
100%.
So prior to that, you're just out there just handing them out. It's the same type of thing, you know, just like
Same idea. It just,
same
now the
idea,
game
just
changed.
different like outlet. Like you were doing it, you were just basically posting a lot and doing a lot of shit, but that was you handing out the tapes and the shit and on the mixtapes and everything on the streets.
Right. Even flyers and stickers I would do, all that, t-shirts, promo stuff, all that. Like, anything to push my name. That was the key.
I think that people don't even realize too that how much that stuff still works for like starting a business and stuff. They've gotten so far away from it. It's like, oh, I started a bit, I got to do Facebook ads right away. It's like, well, you could also go be in person and hand that shit to people because people now, in my opinion, might see more value in that than ever because it's like a lost art, like the shoe leather, like hitting the streets and talking to people, that kind of shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, I think that's a great way to start. Everybody depends on the internet, and a lot of DJs depend on Instagram, but that's not the only outlet, man.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of other things now. For instance, during the whole quarantine, we were stuck. So what did I have to do instead of just staying home and doing nothing? I got on Twitch.
Yep.
Twitch was a big deal, man.
Wow.
A big deal. Twitch used to be just for gamers. Like my son knew about Twitch. Because why? Because he's a gamer. He loves it.
That's what I heard it as. That's what I thought it was. When you just said it, I'm like, what the hell are you doing on a fucking video game platform?
But now you could just DJ on Twitch, play music, play whatever the hell you want, be yourself. There's no rules. It's not like radio. Radio is different. It's a business.
Yeah.
So there's tons of rules, but Twitch is just do you.
Yeah.
And your fan base will follow you. Believe me or not, man. I started and all of a sudden 5,000 followers follow me on Twitch. Like,
yep. Well, let me tell you something. One of our favorite mixes that you ever did was Memorial Day during Corona from, I think, right in there.
No, it was my birthday.
Oh, it was your birthday. I'm sorry. It was T's birthday. It was T's birthday, not Memorial Day. I apologize. But just so you know, I don't even think you know this. The amount of times we listened to that mix in this fucking ranch blasting in this house has been, dude, Adam, how many times have we listened to that thing?
So many. And you guys took it off of Instagram, too. So
yeah,
like,
dude. So then, and it was Cassie, my fiance. Cassie's favorite shit was that mix. And she's like, she goes, Camilo took down that mix. And I'm like, all right, so listen to another one. She's like, no, I want that. She was like texting you and shit. Like, hey, what happened to the man?
I probably didn't take it down. I think Instagram probably took it down.
Probably, yeah.
Because they were, all that music censor and all that stuff. So
all that
that's
stuff.
the other beauty about Twitch. Twitch has no, you could just
They're
go.
not censoring you and everything.
Right. Instagram used to kick me out all the time. Once you play a couple of Jay-Z songs too long, poof, I was off.
Yeah.
People were pissed off. Like,
yeah. So interesting. So T, let me ask, can she hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
So how did you find us? How did you find us?
I think through I was definitely through Instagram.
Did you just come pop up like a pop up or something? You got?
No, I think one of the people I follow was using you, and I think Bethany Frankel probably.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I started to follow you, and I was like, oh man. I kept telling him we need to take Gucci.
For Gucci.
Yeah, because we needed help, man.
I know.
And then Christmas was coming around. I said, I don't want anything. I just want training from Packard to door.
Hell yeah. Cassie, we need to start making gift cards too for Christmas time this year. Yeah. So then what did you learn the most with Gucci? What would you say was the biggest thing you learned about him? For both of you guys, either.
Walking was so important.
Yep.
You get the energy out.
Yep.
That you're the leader.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Like so many little things I catch myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I mean, to this day, I'm like,
I know where I mess up now. All the time. All the time I know where I mess up.
Yeah, we're messing up every day, and then we are, that's, but at least we know.
Yeah.
And
oh, you have awareness.
This
now.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one spoils.
And now when I see people walking their dogs, I'm like so critical.
That's everybody, by the way.
You know?
It's like, oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah,
the
she
dog's
said
in
that.
front and dog's in harness. And
Yes. I'm like, forget it.
Yeah, we're driving and like, oh, look at that dog. Oh no, she's doing it all wrong. That dog is in full control, just like that. I'm like, okay, expert.
So good. So good. So what do you got going? So I wanted to talk about too the restaurants and the pizza place and all that you got going. So how'd you get involved? So you go from bye T, great seeing you. You go from
Bring the dog later.
yes, bring Gucci. We'll train him. We'll tell him that on camera. So you go from the DJ thing, and when did you start doing the restaurants and all that stuff and getting involved in that?
So that is, I want to say, a blessing. That happened 06.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of fell in my lap because my boys were all club promoters. The ones I went to high school with, the ones I grew up with,
Yep.
all club promoters. And like I said, man, it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
So they got a little older. And they were like, yo, we need to do something else. I want to open this restaurant. One of my boys came up to me and said, restaurant? What the hell you know about restaurant?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You want to be my partner? At this point, I'm starting to make a little money. And I've always learned from my dad, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Right? So the DJ stuff, I love it. I'm going to rock with it till the wheels fall off.
Yep.
But, you have to also try and do other things. So I said, let's do it, man. I'll back you up, but let's try. And we started in Long Island City, Queens. We opened up a Latin fusion restaurant. We went through hell. We went through every mistake possible. They didn't want to give us a liquor license. They were like, oh, these 6 Spanish kids opening up this restaurant over here. What are they trying to do? Right. They're going to flip it into a strip club. That's what they started saying, strip club. And after hours, I'm like, we don't even have a sound system in here.
Right.
Fast forward 2 years later, we applied again. We got beer and wine, like baby steps.
Yeah.
And then there was just one day, we got fed up. We got a lawyer, and he fought for us, and they gave it to us.
Hell yeah.
And then, once when we first opened the first one, man, we took hella hits.
Yeah.
Every big bump you could hit on the road, we hit it.
Yep.
But we learned. And I just want to fast forward 2021. We have 4 blend restaurants.
Fuck, we got to redo the intro. When I did the intro, I'd say you got 3 restaurants and a slice pizza shop. Now we're at 4.
Well, the 4th one ain't open yet. We're in construction.
Okay.
That one is coming in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Hell yeah, nice.
And
the other 3 are in Queens?
3 in Queens, and now we're going to Brooklyn.
Nice, man.
And we got 1 in Miami coming also in Wynwood. So we're rolling, man. But we're very successful.
That's great. Congratulations.
One of our biggest.
Awesome, bro.
Thank you. One of our biggest ones is called Blend on the Water. It's on the water. It's on the Hudson, right in front of the Empire State Building and the United Nations. Got a beautiful view. We do like 400 to 500 people on Saturday.
Wow.
It gets very busy.
Wow.
We learned, man. We learned.
You figured it out, and that's like just another story of believing in it, learning from the mistakes, and moving forward. And I talk about this shit all the time with dogs about learning from how much benefit there is from a dog learning from a mistake that they make. Because in the dog training world, in this dog psychology, all this thing, there's a big movement to only tell people tell a dog yes, like good boy, and ignore all the mistakes they make. But how much value is it, at least for humans, right? Of learning from mistakes. Like a mistake, this didn't work, so now I know that doesn't work. That's like a piece that I can download for myself, So that option is removed. Okay, what's the next thing we can try, So it's the same shit, but I think it's like so important for the people and the viewers to hear that stuff of it's adversity. It's how do you react to adversity? There's going to be people who say oh, you're not getting your liquor license? Let's close this shit up and fucking close the thing and we're done deal.
100%. We just didn't give up, man. You just can't, And then when you're invested also, it means more. You put money down. I don't want to lose this.
No.
Oh, we're going to rock. We're going to rock. And you just go full throttle, man. You take the L's, man.
Yeah.
You take the L's, but you go.
And you keep moving forward.
I'm going to drink to the L's.
Hell yeah, drink to the L's. I love that shit. Cheers to that one.
Cheers.
That's for me, the amount of life lessons I've learned from the mistakes I've made in life. It's like people make mistakes and then they start beating themselves up over mistakes they make. I'm like, that's an opportunity to learn in that moment,
Right. I mean, I'll tell you a mistake I made with Gucci was one day, and it was one time. I don't know if I told you. I might have told you that he came at me
Yeah.
and bit me right here.
Yep.
So my first reaction was to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
and I said, I got to teach him never,
Do it again.
and right, and what did I do? I grabbed my slipper. I was just, but I couldn't. I tried to swing at him one time. And I know this is bad. I know it's bad.
Yeah.
And I missed. And then after a while, I looked at it, and I looked at him, and he looked confused.
Yeah.
He looked confused. I said, "All right, obviously, I'm not. This is pre you,
Right.
pre seeing you.
Right.
Obviously, I'm taking my frustrations out on
Yeah.
That's all right. Let me back up, and then now, like, you learn from mistakes. Okay,
Yeah.
he'll bark at me, but he won't come at me.
No.
Like, there's a level now of he doesn't come at me. The only time I don't mess with him is when he's eating.
Yeah. But that's a dog. A dog is eating. In my opinion, you shouldn't mess with them while they're eating.
That's almost like what do you say? That's what's the word I'm looking for? Just blanked out. That's you should know that.
Yeah. Right. Common sense.
Like common sense.
Yeah.
There you go. It's common sense. Like even a human, if somebody's eating, you don't want to interrupt the person.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're having you're at the Latin Fusion, and the waiter comes over to start touching your food at the plate. You're like, what? Can I eat my food? Yeah, get the.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Know?
So for a dog, I can imagine like I only eat once a day, right? And you're bothering me right now when I'm,
in it.
So I get it.
Yeah,
I leave that alone.
No, and Gucci. That's the thing that you guys are having frustration with Gucci because you and T both knew it could be better. It was just like you didn't know what to do. That's all it was. It wasn't that you guys were like screwing this dog up. It's just like we just don't understand why he's doing these things. And when I could show you just some certain things, why he was doing certain things, isn't that? That's what I've been doing now with my clients too. Is like, this is what it is. Let me show you what it is and what you need to do. And at that point, I'm like, that's your job to do it. At that point, as the leaders for the dog,
Right. And like even to this day, of course, there's days that he just won't stop. But he always wants to play. He always wants to play.
Yeah.
So he starts, there's this ball and this rope that he has that he loves. He'll come, I'll come and sit down, I'm doing something. He'll come with the ball and then just drop it in front of me.
Yeah.
And then just drop it. And it's like, hey, grab the ball, throw it.
And stare at you.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, and stare at you.
Yes,
Throw
that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Yep. So I grab the ball, I go back to come. He comes back for more.
I'll give you a good tip with that. I'll give you a good tip with that to work on recall with him, if you say his name to have him come. Since he loves that game so much, every time that he's bringing the ball back, say Gucci come, every time, because for his ears, he's gonna hear that when he's already doing the act of coming to you. So you don't even have to train. He's already doing it. So you keep telling the ears what it means, and then later on, like you do that for like a month, and then all of a sudden you'll say Gucci come, and he's gonna be like, and just come right to you, and
he's thinking it's playtime.
And his mind is like, when I hear that thing, I go back to Camilo. So that's another good little tip there you could use. That's for the viewers too. You guys can use that.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, man.
Just association.
A whole lot of sense.
This has been great, man. I really appreciate you. By the way, Camilo has been amazing with me too, and helping and promoting my stuff. I really appreciate it. I have so much gratitude for you sharing the posts and things that you have for us. It's been amazing, and all the help that you've given us with growing the business. We really appreciate that. Sincerely.
And I got people that hit me up. Yo, who's that guy? Yo, who's your dog trainer? This is that. Who's that? And then there's some people I don't even bother sending to you because
thank you.
I know it's gonna be a headache.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, yo, you know what? He's far out there, man.
Yeah,
he's out
way
there.
out there.
He's way out there. You don't want to play.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
There's a lot of mosquitoes and bugs up there and shit. You don't want to go there.
And then other people, I just send them the Instagram, and but that's going back to we were talking about promoting and keep going and going. That's it, man. Like after this podcast, see, be my whole following looking at you and oh wow, and that's how it grows, man. Like this podcast is,
I appreciate that, man. It's so awesome. And you, dude, you're like, you've been in the grind. I just love, like, especially talking to you too, because as a New Yorker in the street, like, you were in the streets and you just grind, like, kind of like I did it in a different way, totally different industries, everything, but all together, it's like very similar how we got to these positions and what we're doing in our lives and stuff is straight up commitment, belief, grind, and moving forward and not looking fucking backwards, dude.
And you love what you do. I can just see it, man. Like when I met you, I could just, like I told wifey, I said, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But you could tell, like, it's in your heart, it's in your blood, man.
The passion.
And you just love it. And before all of this, you were doing.
I was doing construction and shit. I was working in my father's business doing construction.
Right. That wasn't your love?
No. That was what the society told me I should do, is take over your father's business, you'll make money, and da-da-da. But that was everybody else's fucking story for me, not my own.
Right. And then right now, you're sitting on
writing my own story, dude.
throne.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. Like I tell a lot of people, man, sometimes you have to wait to see what you really love, man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't become work.
Right.
Listen, I get home at 5.
Thank you.
I get home at 5 a.m. every day. I am dealing, like tonight, I'm doing a strip club that I don't even want to do.
Which one, by the way? Cassie can't hear this, right?
Atlantis and Queens. So, it's easy work. I pop in, boom, I hit that audience that it's very important in hip hop to hit.
Yeah.
Boom, I knock it out.
Yep.
And I still have fun playing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I come home at 5 a.m. I'm almost doing a nightclub every night.
Yeah.
That's not easy, bro.
No,
that is not easy.
That's a grind as hell, dude.
Especially when you got kids, businesses, radio responsibilities. A dog that needs to be walked at 7 a.m.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, man.
Like fed, all of that. And
it's a lot of things on your plate. A lot.
But I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Nothing else.
A lot of people tell, yo, how do you do it, man? How you get on at 5 a.m. at 10:30, you're already up and running? Bro, I love it. It's not work.
That's what it is. And people say that's what I'm saying. I can feel you so much because people say to me, Steve, you work way too much, bro. You need to start chilling out, start relax. I'm like, it's chilling out. I was like, first of all, we'll call it whatever you want, call it chilling out, whatever. I love what I'm doing, and I'm not working too much because I don't even consider it work. This is just what I want to do. And then you live in the house with these dogs, and how do you do it every day and the employees? Because I fucking love this shit. What do you guys not understand about it?
Right.
So important.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Where's Gucci? Anyway.
And then it's also, by the way, like you said too, of like, it's okay to not know what your passion is and what the love is, what you want to do for your life. But that's the time in life, especially when you're young, to start tasting different things. Try DJing, you try working with dogs, you try whatever it may be. Try whatever is like, I'm interested in that. Let me see what that's all about,
Yeah.
And
sometimes, sometimes it might not work.
That's right.
Right. But then you could always keep it. Right. And you could always keep it as a hobby.
Hell yeah.
Whatever, you could just, or your plan B, or your side hustle,
Yeah.
You can just keep it as that. And, my side hustle now is the restaurants.
Yeah.
My side hustle now is, I got a sneaker shop too that I don't think I never told you.
No, but you need to tell me about that shit, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm going there.
It's called All the Right. It's in Elmhurst, Queens.
Okay.
And it's a boutique street. We have graffiti painting, and we got gear, and we got sneakers, and
so cool.
And I know you love the Jordan 3s.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I gotta tell that story real quick. Is like why it's so amazing having like Camilo and T as clients is like they come, the Gucci stays, they're happy with the service, and then all of a sudden they pay, which I tell them not to, and then they hand Jordans also. Oh, these are the best clients of all time,
I remember the first time I met you, you had the 3s on. Okay.
Yeah.
I had the 3s on, and I could tell they were your work sneakers. Like you were always with them.
Yeah.
So I said, I got you. Then the 3s dropped, and I remembered.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, these are nice and crispy, man.
Yeah, brand new.
You can never go. Go wrong with them."
That's right. Those are still in the box, and they're saved for special occasions only. Those ones. Those are not the work Jordans. I'm looking outside to the backyard. I have like a pair of 1s and a pair of 3s right there, which are my work Jordans.
Right. And those are timeless, man.
Timeless. Have you ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny back in the day?
Yes, yes.
I say like when I'm out here, like when he's like the Italian guy from, I think he was from Brooklyn or wherever he was, and he's out in the country and he's got the white Jordans on, he's shooting the guns with the leather jacket on. At one point I was wearing my Jordans and like totally like I'm in the city or some shit in the middle of the woods up here. I said, I'm like fucking my cousin Vinny up here in the sticks at this place with the Jordans and all this. Like, who do I think I am?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So good. So what do we got going on with you? What's coming up with you? Where can we find you? How can we find out more about you?
Well, now that the world's open again, but it's not, because we're
Kind
like up
of.
and down.
It's open. It's closed.
Kind
It's
of,
up. It is.
but,
Yeah.
Right, but I'm back to my traveling. I used to travel before the pandemic. I used to travel a lot, man. I've been to Japan, Russia, played.
Yeah.
I've been all over Europe, all over.
I know.
To Oslo.
In the
Finland.
Just so you know, in the intro, I was like, all right, I'm gonna cut out about half of the countries because there's too many countries to name all these countries that he's played in.
Right. So now now the phone is starting to ring, and
Nice.
we locked in Dubai for December.
Nice.
We are going to Dubai is the biggest out of state gig that we just locked in. But besides that, I'm always in Florida. I'm always in Miami. Columbus weekend, I'm doing like 5 clubs out there.
Yep.
Doing Dallas. I'm trying to remember. It's just a bunch of stuff.
And where can they
Coming
find the
up,
dates
man.
and everything? Where will be the best place to find?
DJCamilo.com, baby.
Hell yeah.
DJCamilo.com. And I also have an app.
I
got
got
an
it.
app that anybody can download. I got my mixes there.
Yep.
Got some music there. I have all my events lined up, flyers and all that.
I
hit
highly
the button,
recommend
it gives
it.
you.
Highly recommend it.
It goes straight to the Google Maps. Like you hit the club and it goes straight to Google, so you
So
can't get
good.
lost. You can find it.
So good.
Yeah. So but that comes with the hustle too. Like me creating an app is very expensive.
I was shocked when I
Right.
saw that. When you were like, yeah, because I was asking you, I was like, yo, where can I get more of your mixes? I want to play him and shit. You were like, yeah, check out my app. And I'm like, this guy is fucking just involved in everything. He's got apps and restaurants and DJing and like.
Yo, Camilo,
You got-
hook us up with the programmer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
program?
The programmer.
I got you.
Yeah.
Guys, give me a heads up. Headache.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Apps are headaches because number one, when you create an app, you got to create 2 apps. You got to create one for Apple, Apple, and
Google.
Android.
Yeah.
Android, 2 different phones, so 2 different systems, 2 different headaches,
Yeah.
2 different expenses, and they work differently, and they have to. Guess what? They have to look identical. If
I
not,
know.
then
Then
you're
you lose the
looking
branding of
cheesy.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're looking cheesy. So and expensive, and with so much new technology coming, every time the new phone drops or new software, guess what? You got to update the app
Yeah.
because the app has to keep up with all the new technology moving around. But at the same time, for me, that I've been around the country, it's important for people to be able to, oh, how cool is it? Say, yeah, just download my app.
So
Whatever part of the world,
yeah, dude.
I could promote myself. Like it's out there, and I can hit a notification button, and everybody in their phone gets it.
Yep. So sick.
How cool is that?
That's so
Like,
sick.
That's all called promo, man.
Yep.
You got to promo. You got to stay alive in this game.
Direct access
You
to
know?
the people, man.
You got to move with the times, man.
All right, so one more. And by the way, you guys need to follow him on Instagram. DJ Camilo, right? On Instagram.
At DJ Camilo
Oh
on
my
Instagram.
God, I love that shit. That's my guilty pleasure. Is like, I don't even know if it's guilty. I just love fucking watching your stories with you and T and Gucci and all the things. I laugh my ass off. And I'm not the easiest person. I mean, these guys will say I'm not the easiest person to get to laugh because I think I have like a little bit like a weird sense of humor or whatever. I like a really into humor and comedian, all that stuff. And oh, dude, look at this shit. I'm showing it. Like a Camilo with tea right here with the food,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's funny with Instagram, man. Like, everything moves so fast, but the stories, man, you grab people's attention,
Mm-hmm.
and people, and I get it from like my hardcore followers. They're like, oh, I go through your stories. I skip all the club stuff to go straight to your family.
I know,
When I get
dude.
to your family, I get to see the real you. And it's so funny the way you're always snapping at your kids and your wife and this and that. You should do a reality show. They
You
always tell me
should.
that. You should do a reality show. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do a reality show because that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother
game.
level, yeah.
You want a reality show? Just follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, and then you control it. It's the best, dude.
Yeah,
It's so good though. Like it's so good to see it because you can feel watching it like how tight knit your family is, how good of a father you are with your kids, like how you take care of the dog and you're a good husband. It's obvious to see that through all the fun and the humor and the ball breaking and all that shit. It's obvious to see how connected you guys all are, which is amazing.
Yeah, I always used to grab Gucci and give him a briefing every morning. And I said, Gucci, sit down. And I used to give him a briefing. Gucci, today I'm 187 from 4 to 7. And then after this, I'm doing this club and that club. And then Gucci thinks that I'm there about to give him a treat. So he's there, and his tail is,
all fired up.
Man, it's so funny,
awesome,
man.
bro. And then one other question, and this is the last question I have for you, is for up and coming DJs. What do you recommend for them to do?
Number one, if you really want to take it serious, it ain't about the money. It's not about the fame and what it comes. You know, it's cool. Yeah, you know, you're popular. You're on the street and everybody knows you. That's cool and everything. But it's really about the music and being creative and trying to create something that's you.
Hell yeah.
You know, you can always learn from other DJs because that's the only way to learn. And you could try and be that DJ, but do not bite. Do not take. Create your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Be creative. Create your own lane. Yeah, you could learn from other DJs all day, but you got to create your own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yourself.
Right. And if you really want to do what I do, it's just understand it's a 24-hour job, man.
It's a grind.
You know, nowadays music comes out like this, comes and goes. It's hot one day, it's hot for 2 months, and it's out of here. On to the next. And there's, you know, you have to be able to play for different crowds, different genres.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be on top of your game, man.
It just sounds like to me, it's just you got to have the passion for it, and then full commitment. Be okay with the ups and downs. Because once you're fully committed, shit gets easier, in my opinion. When you're like, I'm committed to this shit, they're gonna have to tear these fucking DJs. What do they call? I used to always say, but my big joke with Adam when he starts doing this stuff, I go, and behind the wheels of steel is Adam over here and all that shit.
Oh yeah. I heard that in one of the other ones. And I'm like, yo, that wheels of steel is such an old school saying.
Super
old
school.
Because wheels of steel, what really means is turntables. Like, you know,
these things, steel things. Yeah,
actually, yeah, exactly. So when I heard you say that, I was like, oh man, he's taking it back.
Old school.
The funny part is too that I do DJ and I do music and stuff like that. Obviously not like vinyl like you did back in the day, but dude, it's amazing. Like working with music, bro. It's like you know, it's frequency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You work with energy, so it's like it all translates, bro. It's amazing.
So good. I was like, and by the way, I have like a huge passion for music, and like that was something. By the way, it's crazy like that. This is energy, in my opinion, vibration. Because for the longest time, like when I was in college, I would see the DJs, and I always found myself looking at them and like. Dude, just recently, I'm 39, bro, and I went on a fucking bachelor party to, where the hell was I just recently? Arizona. And I'm like, we're all with the dudes, with the tables and all that shit. I'm just like watching the fucking DJ the whole time. Like, look at this guy. Oh, yeah. Like watching him do it.
It's art, man. It's like, you know, you literally, depending on the setting, you're really taking people on a roller coaster ride, man.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing I theme for. Like when I'm in a crowd, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And I'm taking them on a ride and playing this, and then there's certain scenarios where you take the crowd to a certain level that at that point you could play whatever, and you got them right here.
Yeah, you
got them right here.
Yep.
You got them in the palm of your hands, and you could dictate them. Like it's crazy. Like I've caught myself in scenarios where I already have them here, and now that I have them here, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah. And they love
it. You know what I'm saying?
They're in it.
But that takes skill.
Big skill.
How to get people there, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like I told you, reading a room, how many women, how many guys. What time is it? Timing is important.
Yeah.
Because you could tell 2 a.m, I know Steve already had 2 drinks.
Yeah.
So I know his
Put
how
a
he's
zero
thinking
at the end
already.
of that. Put 2 0 drinks is what I probably had by 2 a.m.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But at that point, guess what? Ready to rock.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm ready to go, dude. The fist pump is ready to go. Yeah.
Right. So you got to learn all these little things, and I'm sure with animals.
Yes.
You know, once I'm assuming once you train them to a certain point,
yep,
you could probably
Oh, you
Tell
can
them
see
to
it.
do.
It's reading. We're doing the same thing as assessing and evaluating, and then through experiences, understanding what the human actually wants in that moment or what they need
Right.
too. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then that's through making the mistakes. It's like, all right, yeah, they're ready. I'm gonna play this track, and then everyone's like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, all right. Early in your career, obviously, it's like, all right, so fuck that track. That's not good for there. Now I know in the future not to do that thing.
Right. Or
So,
keep that track real quick.
Yeah.
Instead of playing it for a whole minute,
Yep.
play for 30 seconds
30
and
seconds,
go. Keep
and you're out.
on to the
next one.
Yep.
So awesome.
That's it.
Bro, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. You're
Thank you.
an inspiration to me, and it's been an honor, honestly, talking to you, bro.
I'm happy to be here. I want to get Gucci here. T!
We got to get Gucci for a second. See how it all started.
Gucci.
This is how it all started with the Gucci man there.
Gotta bring Gucci man here.
Yeah.
Gotta bring the star of the show. By the way, I'm just gonna add real quick. So usually we have the dog go somewhere to get his trimmed down his hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what got into T. She cut him himself. And I'm like, oh my God, chopped. In my opinion, I'm like, what did you do to him? You chopped him up, man.
Hey,
You
give
chopped
her a
him up.
break. She's learning from her mistakes, you know?
Right. Tense.
Yeah.
Okay, she's coming.
She's coming with
So she bought these clippers and trimmed them down and
tell her we're looking for a groomer to hire too. So
he said he's looking for a groomer to hire too. Here he goes.
Yo,
here goes the guy.
Gucci boy.
Here he goes,
Gucci. Gucci. Shh. Good boy. I can't hear it. He can't
Come
hear
in. Yeah, he can't hear anything.
He's got the Gucci collar on or what?
You got the Gucci collar on. He always got the Gucci collar on.
He's got it.
The Gucci collar. There he goes.
Hey, God.
I'm shocked he's letting you touch him.
Oh, stop.
Because he's on your lap.
When I carry him.
Oh, yo, that's another thing. When she's when she's carrying him and like petting him, he starts to no. He gets into this comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
He opens up, and once he's at that zone, yo, you cannot get next to him because he'll turn around and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, he's telling you. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Camilo, by the way, this is my girl now. Just so you know."
Yeah, this is my time right now.
That's right.
It's bugged out, man.
That's right. Well, thank you, both of you guys, by the way. There's the Gucci man. That's who we worked with. He's an awesome dog, by the way. Coming to the ranch, he's having the greatest time in the park and everything. It's so good to see him from what he was when I first met you. Just not because you guys were doing anything like wrong. You just didn't know some certain things what to do. And see how far this guy has come. Like how far he's come. He's a really good dude. Like even having him here, wherever he was here a few weeks ago, wherever it was, he's like doing so good, dude.
I was telling him that when he left the ranch, I really felt like he was sad.
I think so. When I picked him up, I swear, I thought he went like.
He's like looking at the ranch as he's leaving and everything. Like, so good. Oh my God.
So
awesome,
crazy.
bro. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this today. Really appreciate it. Check out DJ Camilo, Hot 97, the clubs, the restaurants, everything. We'll post it all in the comments underneath. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Steve.
Have an awesome one. Be good, guys.
Gucci, say peace, Gucci.
Gucci. Later, bro. Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk,
We're
Steve.
off there.